Let's go to the next fourth one. We have got complications due to diabetes. Now, this is something, Anita, most of us don't understand, and till the time we face them, right? And we want, in yoga therapy, it's all about how you can prevent a disease. So it's very important to understand the complications which diabetes can cause or is already causing. So there are two ways of complications which we want to discuss today: microvascular complications and macrovascular complications. So let's go in a little bit and let's see the technical part of it, and then we see the therapeutic part of this. So what is microvascular and macrovascular?
Yes, vasculature is nothing but the blood supply. Now what happens, as I already said, the blood cells are damaged. Now the high glucose levels are next going to start acting on the walls of the blood vessels. Because they are the next target. We are all in close proximity of high blood sugar levels. So when the blood vessels are damaged, it causes the complications of diabetes. So the blood vessels in our body, we have the major arteries, and then we have the capillaries. The arteries are the one which travels pumps the blood up and down our body, and the capillaries supply the blood to all the vital organs and all the difficult to reach part of our body, including the peripheral surfaces. So what happens when these cells are damaged? Let's talk about macrovascular complications. The blood supplying blood to the heart, and from the heart circulating blood throughout the body. When these arteries are damaged, so the quality of blood to the heart, and because once the damage sets in, now the body, any damage to the body, there's immediately going to be a reaction in the body. Let's say now, because for the body, let's say the cell wall has created a problem, so it will immediately send an immune response. So immediately the white blood cells will go there, and there's going to be a series of reactions. And the body is trying to protect that part. So this part is damaged. So what it does is it produces more and more cells, especially the white blood cells, separating the damaged part from the rest of the body. Now what happens is, if it's only a small area which is damaged, the body can cope up. But over a period of time, when you have a constant exposure to high blood sugar levels, many of the cells lining, like progressively they start becoming weak. So what happens? They lead to the thickening of the blood vessels. In the case of heart, it causes a thickening. We call it as atherosclerosis, where there is the blood is not able to pump to the heart, or nor can the blood flow away from the heart to the rest of the body because of the damage to the blood vessels and the thickening. So we call this arterial thickening. So we say the single vessel, double vessels, like all the major vessels to the heart are damaged. So that's why people with diabetes are more easily prone for heart attack. So in addition
we
to
have
the
to take care of our heart, let's say from the exercises point of view. That's why the doctors say go and walk, go a little bit of jogging and all, so that your heart circulation continues, and if there is any coagulation or the blockages internal inside the vessels, and you can clear it up easily.
Yes. So this is for the macrovascular. The macrovascular are the ones in the heart and the major vessels supplying to the brain. For the brain, it's only the microvessels, but the transportation of blood from the heart to the brain is the major vessels are involved there. So the microvascular complications are the ones to the important organs, for which in diabetes, the risk is more for the eyes, for the kidneys, and for the nerves.
Okay.
So when the blood vessels are damaged, the supplying nutrients to the eyes are damaged, you develop diabetes eye complications, which we call as diabetic retinopathy. So retinopathies are a group of symptoms, like you start developing these small, because there's a blockage, the body will try to cope up with it by puffing up. So we call it as a small puffing up of the blood vessels, and then slowly, progressively, it starts involving the retina, the very sensitive part of the eye. So, and if you don't take control of your diabetes, it can eventually damage your eyes. Then similarly for the nerves. Now the nerves also, because as I said, the brain, our central nervous system, is the biggest consumer of the glucose levels, because it has to carry out so many processes. The nerves, nerve conduction, all those signaling, everything is done by the nerves. they have the maximum requirement for glucose. Now the blood vessels supplying, the small vessels, the capillary supplying blood vessels to the nerves are damaged.
Right.
And if the nerves are damaged and the nerves don't get the proper nutrients, the fuel, so the nerve signalings are altered. That's where you start, the first symptoms you'll start noticing is a numbness and the tingling, because there is no circulation. The nerves are not getting the nutrients, and over a period of time they start developing different complications of the nervous system. Like they lose sensitivity. Because they start losing sensitivity, they become very prone to injuries. The main important function of the nervous system is to always give us a warning in the form of a heat or a pain. All these symptoms are a warning. But when you don't get, or when you get excessive warning, there's too much of pain. Again, because of the confusion, there is no blood supply, or there's an improper blood supply, or no proper fuel to it. They start getting confused of the signals. So you get more pain. We call it as diabetic neuropathy. So neuropathic pains, there's a very severe pain. The leg feels literally as though it's on fire, kind of a symptom.
Okay.
So
ultimately, we see like nervous system acts as a communication center. It's sending the right information, and like telephone calling. Okay, if there's a pain in this organ, you tell the brain, and the brain sends the right hormones or nutrition needed, and then a right supply of blood. Ultimately, coming down to, as we say in yoga science, the nerves in the lower part of the body are macro, and it becomes micro as we move towards the brain. That's why brain surgeries are so difficult to do, because of the micro nerves. And it also, you need to have the right circulation of blood in whole of your body, and which we don't understand. And then instead of giving chemicals, if we give them some simple movements on a daily basis, which we are giving in yoga therapies, and people are getting amazing results now. And this is for those students who are already doing the courses, and they understand why these simple movements on daily basis are essential for our survival. And because now we have got such a difficult lifestyle that we are not even allowed to move out of our homes, especially in Corona lockdown situations. And already we have sedentary lifestyle. All of these practices, the therapeutic practices and the yogic practices, and maintaining the lifestyle becomes too important. Let's move on to the next part, and we see what do we have next. So we have completed till the complications of diabetes. We have understood so far what is diabetes, the causes of diabetes, the symptoms, the complications. And now let's go to the fifth part, which is how to manage diabetes, because everybody is asking, can it be cured?